Hey, how we all doing? Happy New Year. I know a lot of you have been saying it, so I've said it now. So Happy New Year, everybody. Are we all doing okay? We've got quite a few in already. Our first stream of the new year. It was going to be at New Year's Day, but that's another story. I'll get to that in a minute. Hi, Tim. Tim's in. KW, yeah, I've got your email. I've got your address. That's all sorted, KW. Everything that was done as a giveaway over the Christmas period, all downstairs on the kitchen table now. All the addresses are printed out. I'm just sorting some boxes and then it's all going out. So it's going to be a mass exodus. The posties coming here every day, I expect. Aaron, how you doing, mate? Windy. It's really been cold. Really, we've had a real cold snap this past couple of days. It's been really, well, it was freezing yesterday. Bob's in. Hi, Bob. Happy New Year to you, mate. Kitchen beckons. Dids is in. Happy New Year. No, there's going to be no Bishop's finger for a little while, Dids. Joe's in. Hi, Matamli. How are you? Aston's in. Hi, Aston. Recovered from the Christmas burnout. Well, you've still got some chockies left over. Mrs. Cruncher will be down, Aston, to help you out with those. Harvey's in. Hi, Harvey. Anthony. Hi, Anthony. Nick's in. Hi, Nick. Who else have we got in? Oh, hang on, done a bit of a jump there. Rich is in. Hi, Rich. Pack away your last day of Christmas. They're all here still, look. I've got rid of some of it, but it's got loads of it here. It's the last day of Christmas. Oh. And thanks for the PayPal, Rich, at Christmas. Much appreciated, mate. Dave Rhodes, hi Dave, hi Jerry, there he is. This is Jerry's radio that we're carrying on with today. Whether we'll finish it or not, I don't know, but we'll get further on. Hi Jonathan, how are you, mate? Ivan's in, hi Ivan. And Gavin. No, we had a little bit of sort of sleety stuff yesterday, late afternoon, Aaron. Didn't really settle though, luckily. Benji's in. Welcome, Benji. Liking the message there, Benji. Not sure where you got that from, but yeah, awesome. So yeah, unfortunately, I was in hospital New Year's Eve. I got admitted to hospital in the early hours of New Year's Eve. Long story, but basically I'm okay now. I got admitted. I went in there about 7:30 on the Monday, day before Christmas Eve, and actually got discharged about 11:30 on New Year's Eve. So I made it home for New Year's Eve, but yeah, not a great time. But I'm okay, so that's all that matters, isn't it? GT Jeff, how are you, mate? Mrs. Cruncher's still really bad, though. Mrs. Cruncher's really poorly still. Mrs. Cruncher's still pretty bad. In fact, it's all Mrs. Cruncher's fault that I ended up in hospital, really. Yes, yeah, all right. Now, Joe, just got to take it easy a little bit. Yeah, not really better, Aaron, but well enough to be out. Thank God. It's a bit of a nightmare, that was. I was in the waiting room for 10 hours. They couldn't find a bed for me, so I got put in one of the cubicles to have a sleep. And they were waking me up every hour anyway, so I didn't really get any sleep. I had a long sleep New Year's Eve when I came home, though, I can tell you. I didn't wake up till about 7:30 in the evening. Yes, so yeah, we're getting there. So yeah, got to probably lay off the booze for a little while, maybe. I don't think that was the cause of my issues. I really don't, but you can never be too sure, can you? You know, we all overindulged a little bit at Christmas. So it's going to be alcohol free for January. See how we get on. See if I can manage it. I need support. I need support. I need therapy, I think. That's what I need. Anyway. Buckfast tonic. Yeah. That's alcoholic though, Gavin. It's Buckfast tonic wine. I'll turn into Rab Nesbitt, won't I? So yeah, I was sort of tossing up. It was a choice of two things to do on the stream today. It was either this, the SW77, or the Sharp radio cassette. I think this is the better of the two evils, because there's quite a lot still to do on that Sharp. I did have a little play with it the other day. I can't remember what day that was now, but it was on the bench, so I decided I was going to give it a bit of a clean up. I was going to pull out some of the bits and pieces, some of the rubber components, and remember that those capstan tires had gone to mush, so I've had to take a lot of the mechanism apart to get at those, take them out and give them a good clean. So I've done that, but there's still quite a lot of remedial work that needs doing. Mal, thank you very much, Mal. Happy New Year to you, mate. Yeah, I didn't get on a bed. I just got on an examination couch, Aaron, for a few hours. They're absolutely rammed in there. They had no beds at all, so not their fault. Just so much flu going about at the moment. The hospitals are absolutely rammed with people with flu. Yeah, I may need a bit of exercise, Mal. All right, Benji. Benji's off to make tea. So yeah, that's the situation. So I thought we'd give this another visit today. I need to check out. We did some started repairs on the board, but there is other damage on the board that we need to look at. Other areas of the board that's got problems. And I did buy one of those pens, but I couldn't get a green one, so I've had to get a black one because the green ones are all out of stock. So I now have the replacement overcoat pen from Amazon. So I've got the black one. Ricardo and Martin, how are you? And Ricardo, Happy New Year to you, Ricardo, as well. See, I've got a black overcoat pen now, so that's replacing the green one that's split apart, which really given up, hasn't it? It's going everywhere, so we're going to need that today for sure. It'll be some bit of microscope work, so you'll be looking through the microscope, which isn't brilliant, but I look back through some of the footage and you can actually see quite a lot. It's difficult to see on this screen because I've only got a little tiny window that I'm looking at the actual picture, so yeah. I think I got everybody, didn't I? Yeah, I think we've got everybody. Don't forget to give it the thumbs up, people, if you haven't already. And if you are watching along and you're not subscribed, hit the subscribe button. You can come and join us in chat then and say hello. We'd like to see new people. So this is the culprit. This is our victim for today. I have got some alcohol-free cider, actually. Got some alcohol-free cider. What about this, look? This is Mrs. Cruncher's favourite cider. Not the zero one, but the Devon Red. She absolutely loves Devon Red. So Sanford Orchards, if you're watching, Mrs. Cruncher is a big fan of Devon Red. So Sanford Orchards is a Devon company as well. It's based over in Crediton, down in Devon. It's about an hour's drive from here, but everywhere's an hour's drive from here, really. Never tried this before. Mrs. Cruncher won this in a raffle at one of her darts do's. So she brought it home. She had 3 bottles. She had a bottle of like blackberry and something or other. And she had a bottle of normal and a bottle of red. 0. So I thought we'd give it a go. What can we say? Afternoon, Derek and David Tagg. Yeah. Yeah, so really that's why not a lot's happened, because I was going to do a live stream on New Year's Day, but I'm still recovering now, really. I went into work on Thursday. Luckily it wasn't very busy, so I was able to take it fairly easy. Just a bit of pottering around. But back to work again tomorrow. Anyway, cheers everybody. Have a good one. That's not bad. A lot of these alcohol-free ciders, they pump them full of sugar, so they make them taste sweet, and you think, oh, that's nice because it's nice and sweet. Well, that's no good for me. But that is quite dry, not overly sweet, that. So I think that's worth buying again. That's definitely worth buying again, that one. Afternoon, Chris. The dew makes it look appealing, yeah. Everyone survived Christmas. I nearly didn't, Derek. Well, I survived Christmas, but I nearly didn't make it in the new year. Yeah, Devon Red is a cracking cider, but this one, Red 0, I've never seen this one before. So if you get a chance to try Devon Red, Anthony, have a go. It's I think it's their best-selling cider. It's not overly strong, the Devon Red. It's about 4%, I think. So, like I say, this is the board. Oh, incidentally, can you notice a difference in the camera? Can you notice the frame rate, look? My new card worked. So I've got my new Thunderbolt enclosure and I've got the new capture card, which arrived in this packet. I just didn't have time to fit it. So this morning I've actually managed to get some chance and I fitted the new one. So it's all in and it's up and running and working. We've got a decent camera back again. Well, it's the same camera, but running through that cam link thing, it does, I don't know, it drags it down. But this is working great now, at long last. I've also managed to get the new Patreon and channel member credits up. So if Christoph is in there now, and I've got another Momo something. It's a long, I can't pronounce it. But yeah, thanks for joining the channel members, Momo. I'll just call you Momo for now, whoever that is. So yeah, good news that we got the camera back and working properly. Rob, thanks mate. Happy New Year to you, mate. Yeah, I'm getting there, mate. Black Dragon. And my favourite one has got to be, again, another Sanford Orchards one. I was going to say the Governor then. It's not the Governor, it's the... Oh, I can't remember. It's gone. It's totally gone. The General, that's it. The General is my favourite cider. That's won most of the awards go in, that is, so... Again, if you've not tried a bottle of General, then I suggest you have a try. It's a bit potent, though. it's a bit potent. Certainly be some here in the summer. Yeah, no worries, Aston. Yeah, it's a bit worrying there for a while, but luckily I got over it. A Belgian beer, very nice, Ricardo. I do like a drop of Belgian beer. You're encouraging me again. Look, I'm trying not to think about beer, and you're all encouraging me. Right, let's get the microscope across, and I want to have a look over this board. Say it's a little while since I've looked at this. Well, it's not that long, it's only a couple of weeks really, isn't it? So it might blow the camera out. I can sort of see it still. I'll zoom you in a little bit, so make it a little bit easier. So if you remember, we looked over this area here, and I did a repair. There was a track missing on this side and the other side, and we went all over this area and checked all the whoa, thank you, Chris, for the finger fund, for the alcohol-free fund. So yeah, we went all over this area of the board and checked out the all the vias, etc. See if I can get that in the camera for you. Is that focused? So yeah, you can see there that well, I need something for pointing. Where's my pointery thing gone? Over there. So yeah, we went and checked all of these vias out. You can see that this bit of the board is still not brilliant, but it is sort of hanging in there. We added this jumper here, which jumps to the other side. These vias are all okay. We did clean them out. So it's just a case of going through this board and having a look wherever there was some muck. Now, has that got to come up or down? Oh, a bit there. Yeah, so where there was capacitors, you can see that we still got a little bit of muck. That could be flux on the board. So yeah, we've got to check all of these out that are near these caps. These are okay. These didn't leak, so all those are going to be all right. Usually this area gets hit quite hard, so we need to check these out. Over here and here. Other areas. Now there's somewhere up around here, I think, that's got a bit of corrosion on the other side of the board. So if I flip the board over, yeah, some of the fruit ciders are all right, actually. I quite like some of those. So you can see the repair that we did here, where the trace had gone. That's done. I did see another. Okay, so we've got, if you can see here, you see that dark area? See that dark area there? We've definitely got a bit of muck has come through and onto this section. It's either come through that hole or this one. So we're going to need to strip that back and recoat it. And just double check. It looks like we've got a little bit of corrosion come down there as well. I think that's the first area to check. Let's have a look elsewhere on this board. See if anything else has come through that looks a bit yucky. That one there, but I think we've checked all of those. I think they're all okay. Over here we've had a bit come through but not done any damage. If anybody spots anything, we've got, someone's chopped a little piece of the board there. Look, can you see that a trace has been cut? That's unusual, isn't it? Can you see that where I've got the tip of my thing where it says TP there? The trace has been cut there. That looks like it goes from D304, so that diode's been chopped out for some reason. Then it comes over to this one here, which I think is that. No, that's that one there. I'm not sure what this one is. Just trying to get the light at a different angle. Yeah. Yeah, so we've got some sort of diode package here, D304. Goes down through, it's been cut, so it's totally... I suspect that's the diode across that way. That's the diode there, I suspect that's just grounded there, that side. Yeah, unusual. Not noticed that before, I've done quite a few of these. But as I say, if I hadn't spotted that, you'd never know it was there. So I think what we'll do to start with is I will clean up this area. I'm going to clean up this area here and have another look. Just need to prop that up a little bit so we can all see. Well, if it will prop up. It's being particularly awkward. Okay, there we go. Let's give that a little bit of a wash. If I just moved that again. Sort of like there. Yeah, so I'm just going to clean this area here up. I could really need some different lighting with this, or a different camera, one of the two. Different camera, different lighting, bit of both maybe. Yeah, I'll have to look on the schematic, see if I can work out why they would have done that. It's hard to know sometimes whether this is electrolyte or flux on here, because we've got soldered joints everywhere. That's got rid of all the muck on the board. Let's give it a bit of a scrape. See what we've got. Yeah, it's just flaking off. Look, there's quite a lot of corrosion underneath the trace. Don't really want to get rid of where it says Q322 really, but it looks like it's actually underneath the 2, so I am going to have to scrape the 2 off, unfortunately, just to get rid of the corrosion. well. Doesn't look like it's broken though. I think that's got it. Maybe a little bit more around the sides. Joe Fennick, how you doing, Joe? And Derek Taffman. Hi, Derek. Are you cold? Yeah, it is a bit cold. I'm not cold because I've got a nice hoodie on today, Chris, but it has been really cold here. I say really cold. We've had sort of like freezing rain and all sorts of niceness. Okay. As I say, that looks fine. Let's make sure we've got continuity on that track. Ooh. So I'm just going to buzz that out a minute. Yeah, no problems there. That's all right. Now, where's that muck come from, I wonder? Let's get our pokey tools back out. Let's get the old carb cleaning needles. I think it was the smallest one that fits through the holes, wasn't it? So that one. I could go a little bit bigger than that. Not too big. Too big. So what I'm actually using is a carb cleaning tool. And if you're interested in getting one of these, it's amazingly useful. That's not a bit too tight. So it's going to be the one that I got out originally, I think. Just that one. Let's close that up. I have got to service my generator soon. A mate of mine was going to do it, but I think I can do it myself. So it's possibly that one there is where the muck came through. So we'll give that a bit of a squirt then. Let's give it a clean out, and that one. And that one. Can't get through that one, there's something underneath there. So I'm not sure what that is. If I put that through there, flip it over. Okay, that's that one. Where's the other one underneath? So the other one is underneath this IC here. Other one is underneath this IC. You can see where it's all come up there. I wonder if it's worth pulling that off just to make sure that's okay. It's got to be coming out on one of these lines. We've got two that come out from underneath there. So one may well come from one of the legs, but the other one is from that via. It looks like it's just a ground plane, to be fair. Yeah, I think that's just a ground plane, so I think we're going to be all right there. Now that one looks particularly dodgy there. Just there, that doesn't look good. It looks just swollen up a little bit. Let's see where that comes through. Okay, so it could be that that is the place it's come through. You can't see that. Yeah, that's not great there. So that looks like that's the worst via. So let me just check where that one is. Yeah, so that's this one here. That one looks like where most of the muck came through. And there is a little bit of corrosion underneath the print there as well. That's that one. It was here on this side of the board. Let's stick you out off of the microscope a minute. So I'm going to see if I can just get to that. So it's that pad there. Where are we on this side? Where does that go to? Okay, to that capacitor on that leg there. So I go to that capacitor there, go to that pad. It might be because we got some conformal coating on it. No, it does look like that one's disappeared. Hang on. I can't get continuity on it, that's strange. Have I got the right area here? Let me just put that needle through again. Maybe I've got the wrong place on the board. Yes, I have got the wrong place on the board. That's clever, wasn't it? Yeah, so that's a ground. So that one's fine. What I need to do is find out where this one goes then. That one comes out. Oh, that's the other pad. Right, okay. That's the other pad. Yeah, that's okay then. Right. We're getting there. Christoph, how you doing, mate? Let's grab a bit of drink. Yeah, there's an odd frame rate on the camera for the microscope, unfortunately. So Anthony's saying the two transistors below Q322 don't look happy. Okay, not 100% sure where you mean there, Anthony. Let me get it back on the microscope a minute. So the light is very strange. It's quite good at that sort of angle. Let's jack it up a little bit more. Okay. Right, not sure where you mean, Auntie. Do you mean D304 and that other one? Do you mean this one? Or these two? I mean, they're just got a bit of fluff on them, Auntie. They look okay. Give it a little bit of a squirt and a agitation with a brush. Hopefully don't rip anything off the board at the same time. Let's give that a bit of a blow off. Not sure which one you mean. Ham radio old vintage transistor from India. Welcome, mate. Howie, how are you? What's the problem with the radio and how are you attempted to fix it? The problem with this is it's had the SMD electrolytics have all failed and leaked onto the board. Howie. Well, let me see if I can grab you one to show you what I mean. I did step on one on the floor earlier. Little tiny things. SMD electrolytic capacitors are the bane of these radios, unfortunately. Typical when you want one, you can't find one, can you? So yeah, basically they stop working, the audio goes on them. There's lots and lots of different faults that start cropping up because of these SMD capacitors. So in a previous live stream, and there's a link to the previous live stream. But it's these type of things. This is an SMD electrolytic. You can't quite see it. I've gone to the microscope at the moment, but yeah, something like that. These things, not these particular ones, but the older ones that were used by Sony on some of the original radios, there was all sorts of issues. Some say that there was a problem with the solder bath being too hot and damaging them, you know, making them fail prematurely. Some say it's just quality, but you don't seem to have the problem with the modern ones. I've done later Sony sets and they've all been fine. But all of the ones around this era, the 7600, the 55, this one is this SW77, they all go. So there you go. Sandra, Happy New Year to you. Yeah, it's the last digit of the Q322. Unfortunately, that had to go because it was corroded. So I need to give that a bit of a going over with the overcoat pen in a minute. I just wanted to make sure we had all the damage. I'm just trying to see what Anthony means by transistors above it. I mean, they all look pretty good to me now. I've cleaned them. We can see that bit on the board that's been cut. These up here look okay. All over here looks good. Up through these areas. Good. And this is where we took this is where we had to do the traces and take this connection off. All of these check out all right. We've done all the wires. I'm not sure if we've done that one. Over there. Yeah, we have. No, we've done all of the wires in that area. They're all good. There's a bit of a dodgy looking trace there. I'm not sure what's going on with that. Need to suck that off and have a look. What's on the underside of that? Oh, nothing at all. Strange. Okay. So we've got some factory bodges there that you can see. Spot the factory bodge. Not sure what went on there, but they've added extra components in. Bit of filtration by the looks of it. Capacitor resistor in series. Anybody spot anything else dodgy? I can't see anything at the moment. Going over here. There's a bit of tape there. Nothing untoward under that, it's just some more factory bodges. Bit of decoupling. There's another bodge wiring underneath there that goes right the way through to there. Another factory bodge here. So I think the later models that they updated, I think these shields were put in as an afterthought. And yeah, I think the later versions have got different shielding in here. This is just a temporary fix the old radio that's not working very well. Little tiny bit of corrosion there, I see. Yeah, a little bit of corrosion there. So that's another area here maybe that we need to have a look at in a minute. Not sure where that equates to. Where does that go to? Let me stick a pin through that. It's got to be these here, isn't it? It looks like that's a bit gammy there. Okay, yeah, so that's in the area of that capacitor there. Come back onto there. So you can see where I've just stuck that pin through that. That's potentially a problem. Right by that trimmer. Those trimmers get electrolyte in them as well and don't work properly. So I'm just putting this carb cleaner set through these holes to clear out any potential muck. Let's give it a bit of isopropyl to help it along. Yeah, there's a lot of wires in a very small area there. Well, it looks like it's the FM stereo section. So say, if anyone's interested in these, there's a link, there's an Amazon affiliate link in the description for these carb cleaning set. I would highly recommend anybody that does any radio work to get them, because I've been using the little brushes as well to clean out the black muck from the cassette deck. Right, let's have a look where these go to then. So you need to check that top pad goes to the second hole down, that little resistor there. So you should just check that. Where are we? That's that one there. Goes to there, I believe. Yeah. Yeah, good. Okay, so the second hole goes to these, this diode and capacitor there. Yep. There's a third one that goes to that pad there. Is it that one? Yep, that's good. This is all grounds here. Yep. So those three, with that one there, where's that one go to? Yeah. So yeah, they all check out all right. That's good. What else? So we need to check this wire here, don't we? Now we've done that one. That was okay, because that was there. It was just the one that was underneath the board there. It's literally just underneath that board. Oh, underneath that, not the board, I would say it goes to that first pin. I'll check the chat in just a second. I just want to check this other wire here. Oh. This is what takes the time. It's not the actual sticking the caps on that's the issue. Yeah, okay, that's all right. Good. Right, so we can wrap that up now. So I'm just going to stick some of this overcoat pen on there. Ben's in. Hi, Ben. Let's catch up with the chat. See who else is in. What makes them stop working? Well, basically the electrolyte leaks out of the capacitors and they stop being capacitors and change into resistors normally. If you have a look back at the first video we did, I put a link in the description of this video Howie, if you look at that, you'll see what we found when I tested them all. They were all pretty bad. Oh, the little trace looks bubbled. God, he's off again. Rob's off again. He is. He's always off, isn't he? The bleeper tool is my multimeter, Harry. That's what's beeping. It's just the continuity tester on the multimeter. So again, there's links to all of my equipment, Harry, in the description of this video. If you want to check that out, you'll be able to find out where to buy them. Right, let's get you in a bit closer then so we can see the damaged area. So you're saying there's another track beside this one that looks corroded. A little bit of bubbling, you say? So if I go in mega close, where are we? So close now I can't see where we are. We're over here. Down a bit, up a bit, left a bit, right a bit. Now, I don't know how well you'll be able to see this, but that's the view from under the microscope. I take it you're referring to the track next to it, which is, if I can get my knife underneath, this one here. There's a little bit of bubbling there, if that's the one that you mean. It's difficult because it's such a small field of view on it at this magnification. But yeah, there's a little tiny bit of bubbling there. I don't think there's a break there, but there's a big chunk of copper's been eaten away there. Right, let's just check that for continuity, then across there. If I can find where the hell I am, I can see that one there. Yeah, it's got continuity. I don't know if that's the one that you meant. Is that the one? Just trying to see. I mean, I'm on much higher magnification now, so it's going to be a bit. Look away if you've got dodgy eyes, or if you've got any conditions where you. That's a little tiny bit of soda ball there. Look, that's been missed, stuck in the soda mask or the varnishing. So yeah, next thing I'm going to do is I might just give that a little tiny bit of, it's going to go in a bit closer again. It's difficult to see that really. Well, that's missing just a little bit of corrosion there. Yeah, it's a little bit of corrosion, so I might just hit that with a little bit of solder a minute. So let me get you back onto the main camera, because it's going to be a bit awkward trying to see it there. Going to put a little tiny soldering iron tip on. Put a bit of flux on it. In fact, I might as well tin the other one while I'm at it. Put them right there. Actually, I'm going to have to do it by here because I can't see else. Can't even see where it is. Oh, there it is. Yeah, so a load of muck came off of that capacitor there. Right, let's get some solder wick. My chair's going down again. I need to get a new ram for my chair. I keep forgetting. It's only when I come and do the streams that I realise that I've got this problem. Okay. So I'm just giving it a bit of a clean up. Oh, that was the one. No worries, Crystal. Yeah, so I've tinned that now, so I don't need to really put solder mask back over that. Maybe a little tiny bit on that via there. Yeah, you're going to need some sort of multimeter, Howie. Or get yourself a fairly basic meter to start with, something like one of the cheaper fluke meters if you want to buy something a bit decent. Come on. There we are. That's sorted that. Yeah, most multimeters have got a buzzer facility. You don't have to buy an expensive multimeter. It's very rare that you'll ever use any of the functions of an expensive multimeter, so just buy a sort of a known branded one, but just get a cheap known brand, if you know what I mean. Right, I want to have a look at D304 in the service manual just to see where that goes a minute. Rampton, how you doing, mate? Building block robots. Hello to Evan. Right, let me see if I can find the SW77 service manual a minute. Okay, here we go. So SW77, what date is this? It's got to be 1990 something, isn't it? Is it 90s? I'm not sure. That tells you about different frequency coverages. You know, I wondered if it was something to do with that. That's, what diode did I say it was? D304. So let's see if we can find the circuit a minute and find out what D304 does. Probably won't be able to, but one of you guys might be able to suss it. There we go. If we can find D304, that is. Now, where is it? What part of the board is it in? That's like a needle in a haystack, this, isn't it? Trying to find this. It's not in the PLL, I don't think. See if I can find it on the board layout. Microcomputer board, we don't want that one. This is more like it. The keyboard, no, that's microcomputer board. Signal board, jack board. I don't think there's a key to the component location. There must be somewhere a key to the component location, but I don't know where it is. Just trying to see if we can get the board layout. So which side is that? So we want this side of the board going up here. IC408, it's up here somewhere. Up here. D304, there it is. Let's go in a bit closer. Let's see what it's going to. So this is, it's a double diode. So they've cut this diode off. So they've cut that track there. It goes to D305. Yeah, so they've cut this track here. Why have they done that then? Definitely is that one that goes to D. Just going a little bit closer. So it's this track here, it goes up, down underneath R440, underneath R351, up underneath 340, 349, and it comes down to there, yeah. So it's a parallel diode package. Okay. Do we know what it does though? Or even what part of the circuit it's in? I'm gonna have to go back in there, aren't I? So I've got some idea of whereabouts it is. What it's acting on. So D305, it looks like it's around the area of this IC here. Which is IC3, IC301 that is. It's actually soldered on the other side of the board. So it looks like it's close to IC301. Let's see if we find IC301 then. Okay, so here's IC301. D305. Oh, that was the one at D305, so 304 was leading to D305. Where the hell is 304? There he is. Okay. So that link between those two diodes has disappeared. What on earth is that for then? Let me just get that center of the screen a minute. Let's go in a bit closer. So yeah, they've cut that link between the two. So this here has got a cut in it. What do they do? D304, D305. D304, high cut mute. No, it's not going to that one. Where am I looking at? Where's this go to? Yeah, something to do with a high cut mute. And this is something to do with the SSB switching. Anybody got any ideas why they would have cut that? I mean, they've obviously done it for a reason. Bailey, yes, I did, mate. I've got your address all the way down in Australia, Bailey. So I've got all the radios downstairs all ready to box up now, Bailey. I've got your address all printed out, so that'll be going off in the next week. No, don't try on an SW100. No, 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 no. The SW100 will be the flat flex cable, Howie. So you need a new flex cable for that one to get it going. I don't know, Bob. It's been cut. I mean, I'll see if I can get you in a little bit closer, but it's definitely that link between those two diodes. So it's basically making that diode there useless. Welcome back, Rob. Yeah, if you want to start on SMD stuff, then you really want to get something like an SW7700G is one of the easier ones to work on. Let me see if I can get a close-up on this diode here. This cut. It doesn't look to me like that's factory. So you can see the cut there clearly. Now I've got it angled just here. Look. It's difficult because obviously these boards have gone back in. I don't know how well you're going to see that. Let me just get that in focus. So it looks like someone's gone in with a very fine pen and cut that. You know, that's been done with a tool, like a Dremel. Someone's gone across that with a Dremel. It's not a knife, so I would say potentially it could be factory. Aston would be the one to ask. Where's Aston when we need him? Yeah, so I don't know. I don't know if you can see that or not. Can you see that okay on the screen? No, sound appears to be okay still, Derek. Diode broke its switches in the SSB high pass filter. Thanks, Rich. Switches in the high pass filter. Why would they have taken that out unless they don't want the high pass filter in there, Rich? What advantage would that be? I don't know. Where it goes to this way. So it's basically taking part of its feed from this, wherever that other wire there goes, comes down to a diode there, that. Then it goes up this way, up this wire here. and it's coming off of this switch here. So yeah, it's coming down there from the FM power switch. This is must be part of the same switching circuit. It's going across this wire to this diode here, coming across, dropping down to the base of this one. I'm not sure why they've unlinked them though, Rich. Obviously that's going to stop any current flow that way, isn't it? It's going to block DC coming that way, but it's going to allow it through there. But then I'm not sure. As I say, I'm not that au fait with electronic circuits, so. No worries, Howie. Hi, Gia, how are you? Gas work, same as me then, Howie. Yeah. So maybe we can check this diode. Yeah, we should get a diode on each of the connections and this one here. So maybe we could check that a minute. So let's stick the meter on diode test. So these are parallel diodes. If I can find them again. I'm zoomed in way too close. Let's get out here a bit. Right, okay. So we've got a diode that way. No, let's try it this way. Well, this is the common. So we should have two diodes in here. One there. Yeah. That one is okay, Rich. Let's try the other one. Which is over here. How strange. Yeah, so both those diodes are okay, Rich. They both work, which is very strange. Yeah, I'm the same. I think what I maybe ought to do before I bolt it all back together is take mine apart, Bob, and just have a look. See, it might be something to do with these weird mods that they've done up here. You know, it might be something to allow this filter here to work, because this is some sort of filter. It's a capacitor and a resistor that's not original. It's obviously been added. I wonder if it's something to do with that, you know. That's my thoughts, for what they're worth. You know, and that is the IC that this all seems to be connected to. Interesting. Anyway, shall we start putting some caps on? Shall we start putting some capacitors on? A cunning plan, yeah, I think we'll do that, because I can't remember whether mine's one of the older ones with this modification on it or not. I've seen this done a few times on these. I think Rob, the one I did for Rob, is a newer one, and that's got the latest of everything on it. So it depends what serial number you've got, really. So I think it's time to start putting capacitors on this thing. We know that this area is all good now. I'm pretty happy with the rest of the board. The only bit of corrosion is that bit that I've just tinned. We've buzzed all that out. We've buzzed any other dodgy looking stuff out. Just have a quick look at this, whatever this is on the board. I'm not sure what this blobby bit here is. Is it just a pad? Oh, yeah, it's just a pad that's got a bit of solder on it, that's all. Okay. Nothing to worry about there then. Right, capacitor time. So you can see there's no capacitors on this. I took them all off. They've all gone. Yeah, Rob. We know all this, Rob. We've heard it. Right, where was I? Capacitors, right. Okay. Let's see if I can get my Google Photos up. Can I get? Is it easier to get them on my phone, maybe? Save bogging down the stream. Right, let's see if I can find the photos I took of the capacitors. Here we go. To be fair, I've got hundreds of capacitor photos on these. Where should we start? I think we'll start in the worst area first and then work our way back. So the worst area is here, where we took that plastic connector off. So we need to do that one first, I think. So we need a 220 at 4 volts and 100 at 10, I believe. 10 or 16, 10. 100 at 10. So I'm going to use tantalums for this. Hopefully I've got enough. If not, I'm going to have to order some more in, because you seem to get through them like nobody's business. So 220, if you're wondering what I'm looking at, this is my tantalum stash. Turn the light off on that for a minute. So I'm looking at a 220 at 4 volts, 220 at 10, 220 at 6.3 is the closest I've got to it. Can we fit the bigger one in there? Let's get my big light down a bit closer. Let's get that one out of the way for a minute. Shouldn't need the microscope. I'm just going to use my magnifying glasses to sort it. Let's see if one of these will fit. So which one is a 220? I'll put it that way around. So the 220 is that way. And mustn't forget that the line on these is the positive, not the negative. So that's what's going there. So that'll be my first one in there then. That's the right size cap, so we're going to go with that one. First one going in. So let me see if I can get you in a bit closer so you can see roughly what I'm doing. So I'm popping this one here. I've just laid it on the trace where I want it to go. So I want to go with the solder the positive in first. So I'm going to put a little blob of solder on the positive. Let's put some flux down. Let's get my capacitor. One side done. It's not very straight, so I'm going to straighten it up because I'm fussy. And around the other side. There we are. First one in. Make sure that's going all the way, that. So I'm using quite a small iron. Right, that's one done. That's one done. That's that one done even. Well, just on the edge of the board there, wouldn't it? You can just about see that in the camera. Apologies. That's the first one done. Next one is 100 at 10 volts. Same orientation. We can get the blooming plastic stuff off. So this is the one with the slightly dodgy pad. It's actually easier for me to maneuver it this way around. I don't really want to grab hold of the business end. Oh. That's one side done. And the other side. There we are. That's that one done. Need to put a little bit of solder mask on. That bit there. There we go. Shall I put that one back in yet? No, I'll just do these others. So I'm going to do these three up here. Now they were all 470s, weren't they? So the big ones up through the middle are all 470 at 10 volts. Not enough memory. Just put those back. I'm getting them confused. Don't ever leave these out. Always put them back because it's easy to confuse them. Right, let me just shut some windows here. Let's close that and that. Refresh my chat. There we go, we're back. Not had any snow really yet, Derek. So these are all going to go that way. We need a bigger solder tip for this one. Let's pop that one there in, I think. Or should I just go with my normal one? I'll just go with the normal one. I want a bigger solder tip really, because these you need to get the board and the component hot at the same time, and the ground ones are always a bit dodgy. Oops. Oh, well, that was burning its way through the table as we speak. Actually, I'd better get that a minute. I'd better get that a minute. Oh. I'll just have to spray some isopropyl down there, cool it down a bit. Right. Got my chisel tip back on now, just my normal soldering iron tip. Just laying down a little bit of solder on the positive side. Let's do them in this order, the order they're in. There we go. How about that? That's 5 done already, look. Sorry, that was off camera. Oh well. Let's do this little one down here in the DC to DC converter section. Zoom my camera out a little bit because I am in quite close. Well, you won't lose the camera shot then. Right, just put a little bit of solder on the positive. Let's see what size that one is. What's the bet? That's the only one I haven't got a picture of. Yes, of course it is. Of course. No picture of that one. It's the one that people forget as well, that one. In the can, so let me just get back to the schematic. Who's Jim Burns, Bob? I'm not sure who that is. 1273A multimeter. Oh dear. All right. I could have sworn I took pictures of these, but you know, obviously, no, I didn't. C704 is the offending item. C704. Let's go down to the parts list. Microcomputer signal. And C704 is a 22 at 6.3 volts. Right. Do you want to see one close up? Because it's difficult to get in close enough to show you on the normal camera. So let's do it on the microscope, this one. Right. So I'm just going to do this one here. Just grab a cap, pop it down there. You need to keep your tweezers free of flux. Easier said than done. Okay, I sort of made that a little bit awkward for myself now because I'm the wrong way round, but sort of get the gist. See if I can get in this way without killing anything. So that sort of moved to the moved into the solder. So I'm going to do the other side. So I'm using really fairly fine solder for this. So I'm going to come in from the back end. Just going to touch it in. I'm going to touch that one back again. Now it's all fixed. There we are. Done. Give it a clean off, shall we? There you are. One it's jumping about and it's weird, this camera's doing some strange stuff. So there you are. That's as easy as it is. It's not difficult. You don't have to have a microscope for these. They're not the tiniest things on the planet, but it's obviously easier with a microscope. What other ones we got? We've got one over here. Should we do this one as well? If you remember, that IC came off, so we had to reflow that one. So this one here, let's find out what one that is. It's on the edge of the board. So it's a 220 at 10 volts, that one. Let's just centralize the camera. Let's zoom out as far as I can go. There we go. Smack bang in the middle for you. Not for me, but you know, I'll survive. 220 at 10 volts. So you can see by the footprint that this is the positive side, and the positive side is this little line. The sort of hooked bit is the negative. It's not quite focused for me. Hopefully that's not pulled out of focus for you. No, you can still see that. No, Harry, this is as far out as I can get, mate. While I'm under the microscope anyway, I'm just trying to show you how to solder them, that's all. Not really where they are as such. There's plenty of pictures out there of where the caps go. So just put a little bit of solder on the positive, bit of flux. So I've not really got this orientated to suit myself really. I need it ideally round like that. Let's have a look, let's see if I can get that back in the shot for you. Yeah, there you go. So I'm just going to heat that pad and just see if the capacitor will drop down onto it, which it has. Let's come in from the other side then and solder that up. There she goes. Give it a little clean off. There it is. Is it possible to make a 6-color digital display, Aaron? What for? It's difficult to see it at that angle really, but if I sort of angle it around a bit, you can sort of see a little bit better picture of it. So you can see now where they are at in relation to the board. Going to clean these up while I'm in there. Clean up as you go, I suppose. It makes it easier at the end. Right, so we've now done 3, 6, we've done 7. About another 10 to go, I think, and more than that, actually. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14. Another 15 to go by the looks of it. The joy. Now, did I check these out? I don't know if I checked these vias out. Now these usually get quite bad, but it doesn't look too bad on this particular radio. I've seen a lot worse. These here. So those two are grounds. But both of these go to transistors, so we need to make sure they're okay. You don't really need a bleeper, you can actually look at the readings, but I wonder where George is today, if you get my drift. Right, the reason I'm looking at this particular area of the board is there's 4 vias all in a row there, and they've all had electrolyte down them. I didn't actually check these out. So these 4 here, they look okay, although there's one of them that's looking a little bit like it's had a bit of trauma, which is that one there. So you just need to make sure that that's got continuity to here and on the other side of the board. So let me just do that a minute. So let's go from there. Yeah, that one's good. That was that one. These 2 are just connected to that pad, so I think that's just the ground. Yep. And the last one is this one, which goes to there. Yeah, okay, they're all good. They're all good. Yes. Gas company gave you a meter in 1955. That's very unlikely. Right, let's do these two next. Being that I've just ohmed them out to make sure they're okay. So the one's in by this, so that's that way around. I've taken the photo. $470, we've got a 220 at 4 in there. What's the other side of it though? There we go. So 220 at 4 and a 47 at 16. So let's do the 220 at 4. So I'm just cracking on and putting these on. I'll leave the camera there so you can see roughly what I'm doing, but I'm trying to stick them on underneath the microscope just for ease, really. Just so make sure they've taken properly. I want to say that was a 47 at 16, I think, didn't I? Yeah. So the beauty of these is they will last an awful lot longer than an electrolytic capacitor. So I don't really see you ever having to change these again, but you know, they're not guaranteed for life as such, but they should last a long, long time. That's the benefit of putting these in rather than electrolytics. They are quite a bit more expensive than electrolytics. I don't know why. I suppose it's all down to the manufacturing process, but is Jerry still with us? He's probably on the edge of his seat, wondering what's going to happen next. Right, next ones then. Let's move across to this area next. I wouldn't say it's guaranteed for life, but you're not likely to see an over voltage in this set though, Rich, are you, really? They don't last a lifetime, I suppose. They'll last my lifetime then, I think is what we're saying, Aaron. Right, onwards. Just going to clean the board in this area because it looks a bit mucky, where I've been squirting isopropyl through and all sorts of other things. Right, let's do this little cluster here. We've got 3 in this area to do. This one, this one, and this one. And what are they? Let's grab my phone back. Feline intervention. No bingo today, Martin. We've done the bingo on this one previously. Where's my Google Images gone again? There we go. Right. Where am I looking now? I'm looking up above, north of that big chip. So it looks like we have got a, I turn it that way round. It's funny how that's been soldered in at a weird angle. So we've got 100, a 220 and a 220. So two 220s at 4 and 100 at 10. Let's pop the 100 at 10 in first then. I'll get you a little bit closer for this one. From the cat, not the missus. It likes flickering now. Right, that was the 100, I think. Well, that's the others were 220 at 4, didn't I? Yeah, 220 at 4. Or in our case, 220 at 6.3. Cracking on, not cracking up. Looking good. Looks like a little Monopoly city, doesn't it? Building up. Well, that's those done, so we're moving up the board. Let's go up and we'll go across that way. So we'll do this one up the top here next, in behind the potentiometer. This is the SSB section, I believe. Right, which one is this? 100 at 4 volts. So that's going to be 100 at 6.3 then. Ooh, different colour. Nice. Let's make sure this one will actually fit. It's a bit big, really. Yes, it will. It will fit. Well, that's the next one to go on. I'm just going to skip to Lou a minute, but that's the story so far. Oops. Knocking the board around with the... So that's the next one to go on up there. Just going to nip tuck Lou. Not sure what the time's doing actually. Still looking pretty rough out there though. Right, won't be a sec. Right, coming back. Coco's looking at me longingly. Right, back in the house. Let's get this one done up the top here then. Let's see if I can keep it in shot for you. This is a different manufacturer, so it's a different colour. The orangey ones I'm using are Kemet, not Kermit, Kemet. I take it that's how you pronounce it, I don't know. Could be totally wrong. So not much room on these. I slid on there nicely though. Trouble is I can't get to the back of it with this tip because it's too big. It'll burn that, I won't burn it, but it'll put a lot of heat onto that ceramic. So I'm going to need to go and find that other tip that dropped down the back. Let me just go find that a minute. Didn't have to do that, but looks like I'm going to have to now. It should be cool enough. lots of these little containers here falling down everywhere. There he is. There he is. Let's say it's a very fine tip on that one, so let's change that over. Push all this back in. Get myself back in the microscope view. Of course, hellish difficult to get in there. Let's get in from this side, I think. There he is. I might get some smaller ones of those. It is on there, but right, so these ones up here, we've got a little cluster of 3 here. I think they're fairly low value ones, those. Right, let's find those then. Where's my pictures gone? They keep disappearing. Right, okay, so that is a 1, a 1, and a 22. 1 at 50, that is. So 2 of those. And a 22 at 6 volts. So actually, let's leave that one for a minute. Let's do these first, otherwise I get confused about which one's which here. So we're up the top here now, working on these 2. Oh, I've got a small tip on again, haven't I? I should be right with these little ones. Get a sneeze. Just caught that. Save you having your ears blown out, those of you that are on headphones. Okay. I'm just being fussy now and tidying them up. Touch of the shakes, sir. Huh, what's going on? There we go, that's those two done. Now what's the other one? I said 22, wasn't it? Let's get one of those out. I'm going to angle this one a little bit differently. Right, what we're going to do, let's do this next one here as well, then I'll jump down to that side and do that one there. So what's this one? What's this one? This one is a 6.8 at 35 volts. If I can get the things out. No, let's change that. That's a 25 volt. Let's do a 6.8 at 35. Not that it's going to make a lot of difference, to be honest, but I don't know what part of this. I don't think, no, that's not going to need that really, but I'm going to put it in anyway. Get off. Right. On 6.8 at 35 going in. Ooh. Strange swimmer, that one. Strange swimmer. So straighten him up. There we go. Let's jump back down to this section of the board next then. In front of these two. Okay, and that was that 26.8 of 35. Right. Let's find the next one. So we're going down by the two. Okay, so that one in there is a 220 at 4 volts, I assume. Yeah, 220 at 4. And then we've got 100 at 4. So 220 at 4 and 100 by 4. Let's go 220 then. Right, I said 100 at 4, didn't I, for the other one? Got a little black one there, that'll do. 100 at 4. Right. That's that one. Right, we're really cracking on now. How many have we got left to do now? 1, 2, 3, 4 left. Oh, we are motoring. Okay. It always makes me wonder why, because if you look at this board, they have used some tantalums already in this, but they haven't used them all. Catch you in a bit, Anthony. Found another factory botch underneath there. That's a bit rough. Jesus. Whew. Right, so let's just finish off this side. I'll do that one down here by this other crystal. If I can find which one it is. So 22 at 6 again. A 22 at 6. £1,200? Jeez, what are we on about now? that's that part of the board done. So we're back up here now, up near the ferret, just up here. I can do 2 meter SSB from here, Ricardo. 47 at 6 volts. 47. Yeah, I can do 2 meter SSB from here. No problem. It's vertically polarized, that's the only problem. I've not got a horizontal beam for 2 meters. Easy enough to rig one up though, but then you've got to get a rotator and all the rest of it, so it's it's a never-ending thing, isn't it? I expect Derek has got a pretty good 2 meter setup. Derek Taffman, I believe. I get the two Dereks mixed up all the time. Shocking. You off, Sandra? See you soon. Thanks for popping in. Okay, we are getting there. Right, we've got another one in here. Board's looking a bit grubby, so let's give it a rub down. Where's the cotton bud's gone? Right, what's this one then? Next to the little bluey things in between the two capacitive trimmers. Just a shot there. Right, just let me find the pictures. Okay. Okay. I've got some more board pictures here. I'm just trying to find the ones over there by the sewer thingy. No, that was just a board. Rob, he's back again. Thank you, Rob. I need some more SMD caps. I think Anthony just popped out for a minute, Ricardo, as well, didn't he? He just said he'd be back in about 10. Right, let's just find these photos a minute. Albums. SW77 Jerry, which is this radio. But as Stoltz law predicts, you've never got the picture that you need at the time. And there it is 100 at 4 volts. Luckily, I've got many pictures of ones that I've done over the years. I could just look up on the schematic, but by the time you scroll through and find out which one it is and all the rest of it, might as well just look it up in the pictures. Right, moving swiftly on. Come on. Gotta keep changing my angle here so I can get it in the center and nicely positioned. Oh, that's lovely there. What do you reckon to putting one of these boards in an ultrasonic cleaner then? What issues would you have, and what would you need to take off of the board before you put it in? Because an ultrasonic cleaner would be very useful for a few things. Firstly, it would get rid of any electrolyte lurking in any of the vias. And also, after you've reworked the board, it would be very useful for getting all the old flux off. So I don't know what you'd need to remove. Would you need to take the crystals out? Would you need to take the potentiometer? Would you need to take any of the ceramic trimmers, potentiometers, slide potentiometer, little daughter board, ferrite? Not sure. But it would be useful to be able to stick, and not that I've got a big enough one to put it in, to be fair. But it'd be interesting to see what you think. Yeah, I know what you're saying, Tim, but as I say, this is SMD stuff. We're not talking stuff with any sort of paper bits or anything in it. I've seen a lot of people sticking boards in ultrasonics. Let's find out what that one is. Yeah, I've seen a lot of people sticking boards in ultrasonic cleaners. Oh, rubber renew, that's horrible stuff, Harvey. Get well away from that. That absolutely stinks. That can knacker your lungs, mate, that. So you'd be very careful with that. 47 at 6 volts. Yeah, that's very hazardous to health, that is, Harvey. So you go easy on that stuff, mate. Okay. Mrs. Cruncher should be home by now. I think she's all right. Right, I think that is all of them done. I think we are done. Let's zoom out a bit and let's have a look at my handiwork. I think that's all of them. Writing on bottle is too small. Well, I can tell you exactly what the writing says, because I've got some just here, look. Rubber renew. It says danger. Flammable liquid and vapor causes skin irritation, serious eye irritation, suspected of causing cancer, may cause respiratory irritation, may cause drowsiness or dizziness, may cause damage to organs through prolonged or repeated exposure, may be fatal if swallowed and enters airways. So, yeah, it's used in a well-ventilated area. Do not breathe fume, mist, vapors, or spray. So it's nasty stuff, mate. You can see by the that one up there means no breathing. I try to only use this outdoors, or if I've got all the windows open. I tend to put a little tiny bit on a cotton bud and use the cotton bud. So it is dangerous stuff, that. It's good for what it does. It basically it swells the rubber up and pushes out any contaminants. You can't really use it for belts because I've found that it doesn't really shrink back to original. It shrinks back once it evaporates away, but yeah, nasty stuff, that. Right, we've got a bit of cleanup to do then. Let's get rid of all the flux on this. I've done that area there, I've not done those. Don't want too much flux and that floating around those little ceramic trimmers. Right, so that is pretty much that board done and dusted. So we've been through, checked the wires, done lots of other niceties to it. You wouldn't stick IF transformers in an ultrasonic either. Cheers, Derek. Catch you soon, mate. Thanks, Gavin. Ernest, how you doing, mate? Keep the jet washer in the shed. Yeah, no, I've not done it, but might screw up the trimmer caps. Nice one, Ernest, thought that. Keep the jet washer in the shed. No pots or tunable IFs on the board. Yeah, I've old Mark, Mendit Mark, puts a lot of his boards in the ultrasonic. I mean, what you're going to damage it? I suppose the only issue really would be if there was water left in them. Like I say, I haven't actually got an ultrasonic big enough to stick any boards in, so. So don't worry, Jerry. I won't be testing it on your board, mate. Don't worry. So I would think next week will be the Sharp boombox part 2, because I've got a lot of that done. Well, a lot of the hard slog done. Now, what the hell are these? This is the problem. You've got to put these back as soon as you use them. Otherwise, 107A, I think that's 100. I think is that 100 at 4 volts? It's not 100 at 6.3. 100 at 10 maybe, is it? Yeah, 100 at 10. God, I must remember to keep putting them back. Right. So that is that board finished pretty much. There's a little bit of servicing work. I'm not going to spray anything in these. I'm not going to put anything in these. I need to put some lube in the slider in this one. So I think I'll do that in a minute while I thought of it. There goes the serviceol. Oh no, deoxit. I'm just going to stick a little bit of this in there. Just going to put a little tiny drop on. Just run it forward and back. Don't need a massive amount. Will last forever, that, I'm sure. I mean, in theory, I could put some of the spray fader lube in those pots, but they're plastic tracks in these, I believe. So they're sort of sealed. I've not ever seen one of these go scratchy at all, so I tend to leave them alone. But the volume control definitely does. So that's that done. We need to put the cover back on. So what tip have I got on there? We haven't got a big enough one. We want a nice lumpy one for that. Let's pop that one in. Ricardo was asking you just now, Anthony, if you're active on 2 meters SSB, mate. Yeah, Ricardo was asking that just as you went out for 10 minutes, but Ricardo just asked you the question whether you're active on 2 meter SSB. Okay, so actually it might be easier to solder this little thing here in first. So this is the plastic connector I took out of the way so that I could repair the tracks. Now, for the life of me, trying to remember which way around it is now. There it is. Yeah, it is that way. I thought it was that way around, but you know. Right, so let's solder this one back in. Now I've got to put the too big a tip on now, haven't I? Well, actually, no, it's not. It's not a big tip. It's just got quite a dense end to it. So I'm going to do that under the microscope just to make it easier for me. Put the two ends in first, make sure they're okay. actually sat fully down. Let's give that a bit of... Yep. There's a little smidgen of flux. I'm going to over flux it. Alright, I say I can get on to 2 meter SSB, but only vertically polarized. I haven't got a beam up for it. I've got the radio that'll do it. My 857 will do it. Right, that's our white connector back in. Now for this one, I did a little picture of which way round this went, because can vary. Okay, so it goes in. There's a little cutout there, like that. There she goes. It's strange because this one doesn't look like it was ever soldered to the board on the back, which is a bit strange. I'm sure that's supposed to be soldered to that. Well, I know I'd do a good job of taking these things apart, but you know. I'll tell you, I don't know where all these hairs are coming from. They're not mine. They're too black. Well, that one's grey. That one might be mine. Okay, that was definitely soldered to that pad, that's for sure. Any of these pads? Ah, yeah, that one has got a bit of solder on it. Yeah. Strange, I've only soldered it to 2 pads. Well, not to worry, I'll do the same. I shall do the same. Right. Yeah, I used to have, well, when I lived in Credit and I had a beam up there for VHF, but there wasn't really anybody on it, to be fair. It was only for like the club competition nights that it got used. There we go. That's a shield back on. There we go, that's that board back together. It sounds like Mrs. Cruncher has entered the building. The dogs are trying to rip the door open to get to her and say hello, as you can hear. 100 watts of six element. Danish. How you doing, Paul? I didn't see you slip in there, mate. Just giving my hands a wipe over with isopropyl, which is always good if you've got any cuts on your hands. It's good to have this camera back, though. I couldn't be doing with all the stuttering and juddering of the other one. Thanks, Jerry. Yeah, be all on idler tires. But yeah, the belts, it just makes them really floppy. They never fit again. Never try rubber renew on a belt. Right, well, I don't really want to start any more on this yet. I've got to do the super cap on the other board. I'm not sure if Jerry wanted me to do the LEDs. I can't even remember if I do LEDs on these. I can't remember. My head's gone today. My head's gone today. Why won't we? Oh, that's better. Don't use rubber renew for cuts. No. No, just don't get it anywhere near. I always wear a mask, Harvey, and gloves when handling that stuff. Well, Les has seen me with that stuff before. It's scary. Gonna give us a call when Tropper opens between channels. Canterbrick C. Whereabouts are you? Oh, you're in Spain, Ricardo, are you? Give it the works, all the upgrades. All right, mate, will do. I mean, there is a very strange super cap on the back here. No one really ever talks about that one, but it is a super cap, and I have changed it on a couple readers. I think I did it on Rob's. Yeah, I don't know exactly what that one does, but it's a 5.5 volt super cap. 473, that's 47 and 3 zeros, isn't it? I mean, super caps do fail, not very often, mind you. Yeah, so certainly I can get across to France with a decent opening, no problem from here, because I'm on the, well, I'm on the north coast, but I'm in Devon, so it's not very wide. I've got access to the north and the south coast, really. Lucky like that. Feel lazy now. Yeah, it wouldn't take me long to rig up the radio here. I'll say I've got the aerial in the back of the airband radio at the moment. Just having a little nose about. Listening to a bit of Coast Guard stuff and that. Right, I was just going to have a look, see if I've got one of these super caps. I'm trying to think what box they're in. This is the problem. I could look it up, but I think they're in that one on top there. I think box. Oh, hello! It's Christmas. Merry Christmas, look. Merry Christmas. Yeah, I'm not sure where the other super caps are. Yeah, not in there. Merry Christmas, look. That's one of Mrs. Cruncher's decorations come down, don't tell her. So yeah, I probably will change that one. Not essential. I mean, these super caps don't tend to go bad. If some of them start leaking. Some of the smaller ones I've had leak, but I've never seen one of those bad. You never know. You never know. I suppose while we're in here, it'd be worth doing it. I have got some, I think, somewhere. So really, that's sort of come to a natural close today. Still got some of the Christmas stuff up there. Got to get it down tomorrow, apparently. Well, tonight. It is Merry Christmas. Still, Merry Christmas. Did you all enjoy the Christmas live streams, though? I hope you did enjoy them. They've not had a massive viewing, to be fair. But then I suppose that's because they're so long and people haven't got the time to just sit around and watch YouTube videos where some nutter with a penguin. So yeah, I think next week we'll probably look at the boombox. I really would like to get one up and running. I've got all of these boomboxes that I've dabbled with. But I haven't got one I can actually say that one works, and that's my like go-to boombox. So I really ought to, because I've got so many. I must have got about 12 boomboxes here, and I've not got a single one that I can say it works properly. You liked them? You only missed one, Anthony. We certainly had a few winners, didn't we? Penguin Pongo are down on the floor here still. Rampton loved them. Yeah. Yeah, it is a lot of work. It is a lot of work. It's not just coming on for like a couple hours and then thank you very much. It's a hell of a lot goes into it behind the scenes. A lot of prep and sorting out the slides and then putting the text in and making sure it's uploaded. Oh, it takes a long time, but it's work. I do enjoy doing them. Yeah, they are good fun. It's a get together every day for us. They sort of varied a little bit. I think the most popular one was the first Hickok live stream we did, where we tried to work out all those wires. The second one wasn't quite as popular, but I've still got to try and work out what's going on with the main supply there. Something's just not right. I don't think there's anything wrong with the transformer. I think it's just the way it's wired up. Yeah. You like the theme music, Gavin? Yeah, the old doggies in it. Anyway, people, I'm going to leave it there because I want to go down and see how Mrs. Cruncher is. As I say, she's not very well still. So, hopefully she's been okay today. And I've got the new credits as well. So everybody that's a channel member or a Patreon, thank you very much. Much appreciated, by the way. And I will get some content out for you soon as well. I've got some pictures of the boombox inside, so it's going to pop up. And if I do any more to this in between, I'll be popping that up as well. So you will get some content. But as I say, I've not been too special the last couple of weeks. So fingers crossed, onwards and upwards. So cheers, everybody. Thanks for joining me today. Thanks for the tips and super chats. Most appreciated. Now, where's my button for me, Mike? There it is. Bye for now.